610 CKTB proudly supporting Help Kids Shine, a month-long campaign to raise awareness and funds for the Niagara Children's Center. And now, another story of how the Niagara Children's Center helps kids shine.
And today we are joined by Sara, online parent moderator with the Niagara Children's Center. Sara, how are you?
Doing well, Matt. Thank you.
Hey, we keep talking about all the different little pieces of the Children's Center, and, you're really interesting, kind of being a part-time employee at the center, but also have a lot of background there, too, don't you?
Yeah, I guess the word interesting is a safe word to choose. I was wondering what you were going to pick. Yes, we've been a part of the Children's Center as a family since 2006. I have 4 girls and a girl dog, my poor husband. But I have 2 neurotypical teenage daughters, and then I have 2 medically fragile daughters with complex care issues. And so those 2, Rachel and Yannicka, have been the reason we've been a part of the center since the fall of 2006. Rachel's now 13, and Yannicka is now 10.
Oh, wow.
We live here in St. Catharines, and have been very committed to the center since for so many reasons.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. Like you've been involved there in one way, shape, or form for so long at this point in time, and now obviously seeing it on kind of both sides of the spectrum, right? On the side where you've got your kids there, and you've done some things with them, and now you're also helping them out, right?
Exactly, and I think some of it, that personal experience in terms of how this has really shaped us as a family, has then pushed us to be invested in the families around us in the Niagara region. So when we started in this journey, I was looking for someone else who would understand the complexity of our situation and the unknowns that we were faced with. And that was difficult because our girls share a diagnosis with 2 other families in the world. And we don't have this then group we can go to who can commiserate, but also empathize with our story too easily. So part of that desire long time ago initiated then it initiated an energy to say to the center, what can we do for families? And the center was already doing some things, and then together we just started to create a bit of a momentum to say, how can we engage families in the Niagara region so that they don't feel like they're doing this alone? Because we often think that, that resilient people are simply born that way, but research tells us that resilience is engineered through experience. And that experience then is when we have those connections with each other, that experience is then shaped into something positive, allowing us to find hope, because we realize there's other people out here in this region who are walking this unique journey too. I'm reminded of this week when we had a coffee chat with a few families from our support group, and the one mom is holding her son, and the other mom says, "Let me buy you the coffee." And that mom holding her son said, "You know what? That was the best way to start my week. It was just a simple coffee, but it was that conversation and that small gesture of saying, I'll get the coffee for you today." She said, the rest of my week looks doable. And I think that's so positive and so encouraging. And it's not that difficult, right? It's something so small as just extending a cup of coffee.
Well, that's I imagine it's clearly part of what's gotten you involved and what's helped you kind of develop this support group that you're working through. Is you've seen how impactful some of those small things can be, and how beneficial it is, I guess, to the overall life and happiness of a lot of people out there.
Part of it, I think, too, is when you can empower families and caregivers to be together, to share together, to help each other, then you're also empowering those children who are able to then become empowered as individuals. Mm-hmm. So I think this support group does target families and caregivers, but I know that of their children, as their children age, their children will want to also feel connected with other children and will want to be advocating for themselves as they age as well. My children will always lean on me because they are nonverbal and cognitively delayed, but there are other children in our region too that if their families feel empowered when they're small children, they themselves will also feel empowered when they grow into adulthood. And if our community can say, hey, we are behind this place, we support a place that empowers families, you're not just seeing the benefits then in those few years when these children are just young, but you're also seeing it extend into adulthood. Like I think of Momentum Choir. It's a choir made of adults who are uniquely abled, and they sing, and it's beautiful, it's compelling. And a number of those adults were children at the center. So you have another gem in the region that's saying, that's part of allowing all of these children and youth to thrive. And so when we talk about empowering a family, we're not just saying this is something in the short term, this is long term.
Yeah.
And I'm so encouraged that the center sees this as part of their strategic plan, that family engagement and family and support is a priority.
When
huge.
When did you start this kind of part of it, the support group and everything?
That's a great question. I actually, the dates get a little fuzzy, and I'll blame some of that on sleep deprivation with my own kids. But we did officially start this support group just within the last year, thanks to some additional funding from the Trillium Foundation.
Okay.
So the Trillium Foundation then also actually empowered the center to then create some of these opportunities for families to become engaged with each other. One of the other ideas is that we've got parent talks that happen on a monthly basis. We're trying to build a number of different ways for families to connect, not just virtually, but also face-to-face. And so with the center's desire to see that happen, the Trillium Foundation came alongside with some additional funding to say, okay, we can seed this vision. What I would love to see then is our region saying, we love this, let's keep this going, and let's be a part of this long term.
I'm going to guess this type of a program would be one that is hugely funded through something like this on a go-forward basis then, eh?
Yeah, and I guess the idea is that they say they're seeding a vision, right?
Yeah.
So that we get it off the ground, we get it going, and then we turn and say, this is a really good thing. Can we get more people behind this? Can we get organizations behind this to say, this matters to us because it's actually about our region's story, and we want to see our region thrive. So, yeah, absolutely, we want to empower these families and caregivers.
If the success is based upon the passion I hear from your voice, I would say it's going to thrive.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there for you, Sarah, because you can feel that even though you've only been doing this, like you said, around the last year or so, you can feel that you are deeply invested in this.
It's a big part of my own personal life. I also look around and I see, particularly now, as we've got these changes with our government, we have a lot of questions and a lot of uncertainty moving forward. More than ever, this is the time for our region to say we're supporting we're supporting our families. We're supporting the center. We want to see this place thrive. We want to see these kids thrive. I think families need to see that it's not just about looking for the government to help them figure this out, but looking around and seeing, their neighbors and local organizations saying, "We got you. We hear you. That you guys matter to us. This region matters to us."
Yep, showing that everybody matters.
I feel like the storytelling is so powerful because it reminds us of why we're really in this, and we got to do life together. We got to do this well.
Yep, absolutely, Sarah. It sounds like a fantastic piece of the overall puzzle, and again, just part of all the wonderful things that are going on over at the Niagara Children's Center. Thanks a lot for your chat today.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Take care. There is Sarah Pott, online moderator at the Niagara Children's Center.
Help Kids Shine, raising awareness and funds for the Niagara Children's Center. To meet our ambassadors and make a donation, visit 610cktb.com.